Welcome to our deep dive, everyone.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise to find what really counts. Today, our mission is pretty clear. We're tackling Wednesday's V86 event, race by race.
Yep, 8 races.
We want to pinpoint the likely winners, the main challengers, and maybe, just maybe, find a few surprises along the way.
We'll go straight through V86-1 to V86-8, see what patterns emerge.
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive straight into V86-1 at Jägersro. What's the first impression?
Right, okay, Jägersro first. The name that jumps out immediately is Sandokan 6.
Ah, yes, hearing a lot about that one. Best bet material.
Well, some sources are definitely leaning that way. They talk about, sky-high capacity and just raw speed.
But there's a catch, isn't there? The start.
Yeah, exactly. Interpost, handicap start.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ideal. A bit like giving everyone else a head start.
Mm-hmm.
But the feeling is, if it gets away cleanly, if the race goes smoothly for it, that class should just tell.
So, potential hurdle at the start, but the engine is there.
Definitely. And it didn't really get involved last time out. Word is the opposition here is, well, significantly easier.
Okay.
Plus, it's had some treatment since then. So, yeah, high win probability if things, go right. High prediction scores seem to back that up, too.
Interesting. But I saw one comment suggesting it's still difficult despite upward form.
Yeah, there's always that element, isn't there? Nothing's ever certain. But the weight of opinion seems positive.
Okay, so if Sandokan falters, who's waiting to pick up the pieces?
Well, Oberon Warframe 5 is one to consider. Showed good speed in a V75 race recently.
Right.
Got keen on the lead last time. Expect them to try for the front again. Definitely an early contender in some books. High ranking points in one system, too.
Aiming for the lead, classic tactic. Anyone else?
Global Action 11. Put in 2 really good runs despite tough trips both times.
Resilient, then.
Yeah. Seems sharp out of the gate. Could get a decent spot and, finish strongly. Then there's I Can Win Gardenia 4. It's been running well for a while, but just hasn't quite nailed that win.
Consistent, but needs to break through.
Exactly. The Volt start is a bit tricky for this one, likely to lose a bit of ground early, but it's being flagged as a potential dark horse. Fetus.
A dark horse with starting issues always makes things interesting. Any other names?
Dubai Kronos.
Yeah.
9. Definitely capable, but very difficult to predict.
Temperamental.
Could say that. But big change here. First time racing without shoes all around. That makes it a dangerous outsider. Sometimes it just clicks.
Right. An equipment change to watch.
And maybe nice run, too. Wasn't amazing last time, but had a tough race. Decent ability, but again, tricky starting spot. More of a place contender, probably.
Okay, so V86-1. Sandokan leads the charge, but plenty of what-ifs with the challengers. Let's shift focus to Eskilstuna, V86-2.
Right, Eskilstuna. Here, Global Caps 9 is getting a lot of positive buzz.
What kind of buzz?
Terms like top horse, winner type, a real sort are being thrown around by one expert.
Tie praise. Coming off a break?
Yeah, expected to be good after the time off. And first time with Magnus at Jews driving. Tips pretty strongly as the likely winner. High ranking points, too.
Sounds like a solid favorite again. Who's lining up to challenge?
Gordon Broad, 4 is the main one, probably. Got 2 races in the bank now.
Race fitness counts.
Definitely. Ran okay in the background on V75 last time. Has the pole position, inside track. Consider the pole favorite and an early threat.
Okay, pole advantage versus the class of global caps.
Yeah.
What about others?
Joint Chief, 8. Described as a, substantial horse. Seems to be hitting form.
Despite the draw, 8 is wide.
Yeah, difficult draw, but still seen as having a good chance with even a little bit of luck in running.
Okay. Anyone else in the mix?
Maybe. I love Falshuag's Depart. 6. Fast mare, making a comeback. Has run well after breaks before.
Potential frontrunner, perhaps?
Could be. Might grow if it gets to the lead. It's considered a possibility, certainly.
Any long shots catching the eye in this one? Less obvious contenders?
Not really a standout long shot mentioned heavily, but Hard Center 10 gets a mention. Even reliable sort. Likes the short distance, wants a fast pace.
So if the race unfolds quickly...
Exactly. Needs things to go its way, but could pop up for wider coverage if there's a strong tempo.
Okay, V86-2 noted. Back to Jägersro for the third leg, V86-3.
Yep, Jägersro again. Here, Dark Kronos 8 is the one being highlighted.
Why is that?
Ran really well last time. Stuck racing outside the leader, the death seat, against decent horses. Still performed.
That shows toughness.
It does. Opposition looks suitable here. The starting position, 8, isn't great again.
Seems to be a theme.
A little bit, yeah. But despite that, still seen as having a good chance to win. High prediction scores seem to agree.
Right. Who are the primary dangers?
Global difference 4. Seems to have benefited from winning in slightly easier company. Improving. Definitely a contender. High rank points noted.
Confidence boost from winning helps.
For sure. Then Lindstedt Boko 6. Also had a strong run last time from the death position. Finished well. Looks in top form. Should be pushing forward. One of several possibilities.
So more horses showing grit. Anyone else?
That's so clever.
Yeah.
7. Been racing in tougher V75 company. Fast starter.
Equipment change here, too.
Yeah. First time with a Norwegian hood.
Yeah.
Could sharpen it up. Considered an early contender. Data suggests a relatively high prediction score.
Interesting. And from the inside?
Isias EGG1. High peak level. Capable of brilliance, but inconsistent.
Flashes of talent.
Exactly. Pretty quick from the start, though. If it snags the lead, it becomes very dangerous.
Lead is key for that one. Any potential surprises lurking further down?
Not a really strong tip, but Rember's RD3 is mentioned. Recent form isn't great, but reports say it's training better. And it can leave the gate quickly, so maybe for very wide combinations if it finds its stride again.
Okay, worth keeping a small note on. Let's head back to Eskilstuna for V86-4.
V86-4. The name that really stands out here is Ikiri Brada 11.
Why is that? Sounds familiar.
Yeah, ran in the Oaks previously. That's a top-tier race for mares. She's considered, well, exceptionally tough for this class.
A class dropper, essentially.
Pretty much. The consensus is if she runs faultlessly, avoids mistakes, she'll be very hard to beat. High win probability according to the models, too.
Big reputation, then. Who can realistically challenge her?
Carousel, 2. Looks like the main opponent.
Oh.
Developing nicely this year. Got stuck last time. Seemed to have plenty left.
Frustrating for connections, good sign for next time.
Absolutely. Fast from the start, too. Good draw. Then there's OC Tim, 6. Big, strong type. Strength is its main asset.
Driver change.
Yep. Jepson's driving and using an American cart. Can't rule it out. But appreciate the test of stamina.
Okay, speed versus strength again. How about any potential upsets in this race?
Ken's KW10 is described as versatile, often runs well, raced outside the leader last time, wants tempo.
Needs the race run to suit.
Yeah, could cause an upset if things heat up. Also, Michelle W9, another substantial mare, relies on strength, needs pace, needs luck from that draw. An outsider mention.
Got it. V86-5 takes us back to Jägersro.
5th race. Insitana Soto, 2. Is the focus here.
Despite the gallop last time.
Yeah, galloped in the first turn, but known for being quick off the mark, using the American cart again, which often helps with speed.
So, banking on a clean start this time.
Pretty much. Seen as the top pick by many if it avoids trouble. Data suggests a high win chance.
Makes sense. Who are the rivals looking to capitalize if it doesn't?
Never mind River 4. Also had issues last time, tangled legs and galloped.
Yeah.
But generally good enough for this company. Optimal starting position. Should be in the fight. High prediction score, too.
Okay.
Duplantis Pellini, 5. Scratched after its first run this year, but expected to start well. High-capacity horse, a contender.
Right.
And Jack Link, 10. Won well last time. Decent starting spot here. Might get a nice trip following the speed. A possibility.
Sounds like quite an open race behind the main pick. Any whispers of a long shot?
Gilias S. Gets a positive mention. Good runs the last 2 times. Moving up in class, but seems to be hitting peak form. Could upset. And Lives Matter, 9. Looked like it had plenty saved last time, got blocked. Fast finisher if it gets a clear run late. Tagged as a potential thriller.
A thriller. I like that. Okay, on to V86-6 back at Eskilstuna.
6th race. This one features Plecky Swamp.
No.
Lots of promise here.
How so?
Won straight away on debut for Daniel Ridden, top trainer. Left a really good impression. Can start fast from the inside draw.
Strong credentials. Tipped heavily.
Yeah, tipped as a likely winner. High prediction scores support that view.
Feels like another strong favorite. Who are the main challengers trying to lower its colors?
Dear Wise is 14. Been really impressive this year. 3 wins in 6 starts. Consistent.
The start is the issue, though, from 14.
Yeah, the Volt start from way out there is a question mark, definitely.
Yeah.
But based on form, considered a main opponent. High prediction score.
Okay.
Kite Runner, 10. Ran a strong second last time. Good time, too.
Yeah.
Magnitude's driving again. Shouldn't be overlooked. Relatively high prediction score.
Big driver booking.
Then Time Catcher, 7. Hasn't run since mid-November, so that's a layoff to overcome.
Bit of a break.
Yeah, but good for this class. A favorable starting spot.
Yeah.
Should be taken seriously despite the absence. Also has a decent prediction score.
Okay.
And first to fight, 11. Finished well last time, just couldn't quite reach them. Strong runs before that. A clear contender on form. High prediction score here, too.
Wow, that's a deep field of challengers. Any potential long shots among them?
Well, Mustang Norgard galloped from a tight spot on its seasonal debut, has ability, but needs to find form. Good surprise if it behaves.
Needs to put it all together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
CRA Schwelv got stuck far back last time, never saw daylight, but seemed to have running left. Least chance maybe, potentially more if the gap's open.
Trip dependent.
Very much so. And Mr. T Star Lake 9. Galloped at the start last time, but was apparently very impressive on its debut for a new trainer before that. Another possibility for wider bets.
Lots to consider there. V86-7 back to Jägersro for the penultimate race.
7th race. The focus shifts to Victoria LL6.
Another one with trouble last time. Interference and a gallop.
Yep, got interfered with. The feeling is it's better than that recent form suggests. Ready for a good run now. Tipped as a likely winner by some. High win probability indicated by data.
Hoping for clear sailing this time. Who stands in the way?
Perfect. Held on okay last time, faded a bit late, but starts quickly from the inside draw, definitely capable of winning. High prediction score suggests it's a threat.
Inside spade always helps.
Absolutely. Marabou Brada, 12. Usually pretty reliable, though there have been some hoof issues mentioned. Tends to pass horses late. A contender, relatively high prediction score too.
A strong finisher.
And Countess Face, 8. Driven cautiously last time. Clearly has a lot of ability, but uncertain. Can be erratic.
High ceiling, low floor type.
Something like that. If she behaves, she's normally right there in the fight.
Okay. Any outsiders worth a mention in V86-7?
Britablix Kaloa at 7. Got a confidence-boosting win 2 starts back. Can finish well even from wider draws.
Right.
Potential upset material. And nice steal, 2. Ran well outside the leader last time. Not the fastest away. Probably gets a following trip. A possibility if lots of horses are involved and the pace is honest.
V86-8.
Last leg. Observame 6 is the one getting the main attention.
Based on the last win?
Yeah, one with something left in the tank last time. Described as strong, resilient, likes the longer distances, looks to have a good winning chance. High prediction score backs this up.
Sounds tailor-made for this type of race. Who are the key challengers?
Napoli 2 is interesting. Was a top horse in the Netherlands. Showed ability in Sweden, too.
At the start.
Yeah, first Volt start is the big question mark.
Yeah.
But it's being called the Fidus, a dark horse. Relatively high prediction score keeps it in the mix.
Definitely one to watch then.
From the hip 9.
Yeah.
Kind of did the donkey work for Observe him last time, pulled him along. Has that race under its belt now? Might be even better. Versatile, a contender, also a high prediction score.
Race fitness kicking in.
Could be. Drill, 11. Actually won this race last year. Reportedly been aimed specifically for it again.
Targeted race.
Seems so. If it gets a good drafting trip behind others, it could definitely win again. Considered an outsider, though.
Okay.
And Express Cash, 15. Inconsistent, but very good when things click. Strong sort, distance should be fine. A possibility if it's on a going day. Relatively high prediction score, despite the inconsistency.
So a few with question marks, but definite potential. Any other long shots for the get-out stakes?
Well, Napoli 2 is already flagged as that dark horse. Rendezvous 12 has looked good lately. Can be unreliable, but strong when it behaves. Potential upset if it puts its best foot forward.
Needs to be in the mood.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And Pop the Music, 1, probably needed that last run after a break. Has ability deep down, but form isn't quite there yet. Needs a smooth trip, drafting behind others. Could surprise if things fall all right.
Right. That covers all 8 races. A lot to digest there.
This deep dive gives you, hopefully, a solid overview based on the info we have. It's a shortcut through the maze of form and opinion.
But as always, it's crucial to remember this is horse racing. The analysis points us in certain directions, but
But anything can happen on the track.
thanks for joining us on the deep dive.